Professor Mahees, so should we start or shall we wait for another 2 to 3 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's only 10. I mean, do you have any more people to join?
Yes, we have more people. Professor, shall we start? We are expecting more participants to join, but as the time constraints, shall we start the lecture? Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us today for the Green Talk this month. On today's Green Talk, we will be exploring how human interactions with wildlife have evolved and what it means for sustainable coexistence under the topic of changing aspects of human-wildlife relationship. Before we begin, a quick reminder to all the participants. Please make sure your microphones remain muted during the session to avoid any disturbance. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box and we will address them during the Q&A session. Now, without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed speaker of the day. It's our great honor to have a distinguished speaker who brings deep expertise and global insights on sustainable coexistence of humans and wildlife. So please join me welcoming Professor Mohamed Mahees. Professor Mohamed Mahees is attached to the Department of Sociology in the University of Colombo and has been an active academia since 2000. He teaches and publishes in Sinhala, Tamil, and English. He holds a BA honors in sociology from University of Peradeniya in 1999, and also he earned an MA in research in environmental sociology from University of Colombo in 2007. He completed his PhD in water resource management at the University of Peradeniya in collaboration with the Netherlands Cross Boundaries Project in 2011. Professor Mohamed Mahees' research areas includes environmental sociology, water resource management, political ecology, environmental politics, human-wildlife conflict, social harmony, volunteerism, and student counseling. He has published several research papers internationally and locally. He is the author of 5 books. He is the author of 5 books, including Environmental Movements in Sri Lanka 2010, Development Sociology in 2019, Environmental Politics in 2022, Sociology of Social Problems in 2021, and Sociological Theory in 2021. And Professor Mohamed Mahees is currently serving as the General Secretary of the Foundation for Innovative Social Development during his sabbatical leave. Previously, he has held a key position. He has held key positions such as Presidency of the Arts Council of the University of Colombo, Senior Student Counselor, Presidency of the Colombo University Teachers Association, and Postgraduate Coordinator of the Department of Sociology. Also, he has held and participated in numerous international and local researches and training projects related to political ecology, water politics, climate change, human-wildlife conflict, gender studies, and the intersection of science, religion, and development politics. We are truly honored to have you with us today. Without further ado, let's now welcome Professor Mahees to begin today's Green Talk.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good afternoon. So good evening. I think I must very much thankful and grateful to the Green Lanka Counseling Association or the organization for inviting me to have a session with you all related to some of the timely topic or issues. So I propose them to discuss something related to the changing aspect of human-wildlife relationships, since it is coming within my subject discipline. So therefore, once again, thanks for inviting me to share my experience and opinion in a very informal way rather than in academic and professional manner. So first I would like to know, is it audible what I am talking? Is it clearly you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Then, that I am being an environmental sociologist. I'm basically interested in studying about the human-wildlife relationships in Sri Lanka, because I look at the issue more from a sociological perspective. Although there are many people who studied about these human-wildlife relationships or conflict from zoological or environmental or other perspective, we have very few limited scopes and perspective to look at the human-wildlife interaction from a social science perspective. So you know that Sri Lanka being one of the country having higher level of biodiversity, especially animal diversity level is very high. So we are very rich in terms of the animal ecology. So you know that we do have elephants, whales, then all other mammals, birds. I think Sri Lanka is a paradise for wildlife. I think that is very well known to the foreigners who comes and visit this country more than the locals. So our main resources or our main economic resources will be our wildlife. But unfortunately, we know that today we are experiencing kind of a conflict between humans and wildlife. Sometimes we only talk about human-elephant wild conflicts, but there are many conflicts in this country. For example, you see the peacock. I am just starting with the peacock. I remember that in 1980s or 1990s early, when we go to Kataragama from Colombo, any other place to Kataragama, when we see a peacock in Hambantota, Kataragama area, everybody stop the vehicle and get down, get out of the vehicle, and we maintain silence and try to take some snaps. But today, you can see more than enough peacocks in Colombo, in elsewhere in the country. So therefore, we know that this is a clear indication that the animal diversity or biodiversity has changed, and even human-animal relationships, or it could be whether positive relationship or negative relationship also have changed. So then we have to critically understand this one, because animals are not just part of the nature, so they are part of our culture, right? They are part of our tourism, they are part of our economy, and also they are part of our reverence, or maybe part of our holiness. So then we can't just forget about the human wildlife relationships. Now you know that in the past, when we travel by a vehicle, in case if any animal, maybe like a cat or dog, or like a jungle cat, I mean Handundiviya or Koladiviya, or even Mugatia or Talagoya, iguana or mongoose, whenever they come across to our vehicle, if they I mean, if a vehicle go over their body, they would die. Or then people they just try to save their lives. Sometimes we give water them, try to treat them, and we do our maximum best to protect or save their lives. Even in case we find it difficult to save their life, we know that in case if they end up in death, we are very much worried and we very much, disappointed. And then what we do is like we want to bury them. Then only we start our journey, right? But today, unfortunately, I have seen hundreds of or many 200s of the carcass. I mean the parts of the dead animals on highways. Even if they die on roads, no one remove them. No one remove them. All the vehicles go over their body. They finally become dust or small particles in the road itself. So the problem is we have lost the love or the kindness of these animals. Unfortunately, we know today most of the people in Sri Lanka, if you take most of the middle class people in Sri Lanka, they have different type of pets, domesticated animals, maybe dogs, cats, maybe birds and other fishes, ornamental fishes. They love them. They protect them. Today you can observe there are quite a lot of animal clinic, pet care shops all over the Sri Lanka. I mean, even in a small township, you can simply find a animal care pet animal care shops or pet care shops. So that means we are very much into the domestic catered animals. But unfortunately, we have a very hatred relationship with the wildlife. This is a very pathetic situation, I can just tell you. So no one is concerned about killing elephants or even jackals, like we'll say naria, and other animals like a crocodile. Many crocodiles are killed in Sri Lanka. The problem is the attitude, the changing attitude of the people. And also we have, I'm still talking about the general introduction. General introduction. Uh, uh,
Sorry, sir, you're muted now. The sound muted.
I have muted. Yeah. We believe that we have around 3 million stray dogs in Sri Lanka, right? Uh, you know that some people say they are like I mean, great threat to human health and our road safety. Many other things are there, but there are many aspects. Some people are more concerned about human rights. Some are more concerned about animal rights, right? Now there are many discourses based on animal rights. Animal rights movements are there, right? But we know that there is a huge political economy behind the rabies. You know, rabies. I don't need to tell you. Rabies is one of the deadliest disease, right? More than 1,000 people die every year because of the rabies. And on the other hand, we know that the economy behind the vaccination or the we'll say what do you say, sterilization of the dogs and vaccination, they are very costly, more than 35,000-40,000 rupees. So then there is a huge political economy, right? On the other hand, if you take the correlation between the motorbike accidents and stray dogs, there is a huge positive correlation. Many people, vast majority of the bike riders, they meet with an accident because of the stray dogs. Sometimes their life end up with death or either lifelong injuries like a spinal damage or backbone injuries. So they take treatments more than 3 to 4 years in hospitals. So then what I'm going to tell you is like the changing aspect of human-wildlife relationship has created many problems or many new aspects. So that we have to understand here, right? Now, first, I would like to just want to tell you that there is a concept called, now I am just coming to the themes and concept. I just explained my, do you have anything to ask, any questions, or any clarification you want me to do further? Anybody want to let me know anything? Is it clear?
It's
Is
clear,
it
sir.
clear?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
then, yeah, look at. Now, there is a concept called ethnobiology. 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 What is ethnobiology means? We know that we have to understand, ethno means culture. Culture. The cultural relationship with the biology, right? In biology, we have animal biology. So we have like plants, animals, and so how can we understand animals and trees from a cultural perspective? What kind of relationships we have with animal and plants? Now, for example, the bow tree. What is the community or cultural perception towards the bow tree? What is the cultural perception of dates tree or palmyra tree or coconut tree? Depending on their culture, they have some different perspective. Lime fruits, water, threshing lands, snake, right? Then the cat and elephant. Now, I would ask simple question. Now, we know that, so we have different cultural perspective regarding the some trees like lime tree. Because people have different beliefs. And margosa and jackfruit, coconut. So they are not just trees. They are very much related to our culture. If you take most of the trees and their names and their historical, cultural meanings are very important for us. Now, for example, I have been studying a lot about the climate change and the indigenous knowledge. And we know that you might have heard about the word called Morasurana Varusawa. What is the meaning of Morasurana Varusawa? There's a song also sung by Moidin Beg, Morasurana Varusawe, Sandarani Nubai Navi. What do you mean by Morasurana? Anybody knows? I mean, you know Mora, wild fruit. Hmm? Can somebody tell me? Hmm? So in the dry zone, you have this wild fruit. So that wild fruit indicates it's very, with heavy rain only they fall down. So it's an indication of the heavy rain. There is another type of rain we call Nakapanavas. Very sorry, they are only available in singular terms. Maybe even in Tamil there could be, but here since you are majority Singali speaking people, I am taking example from that part. And Nakapanavas, Nagas, or maybe Nayan. Even the landslides based rain. So then you see this is cultural ecology, how culture and nature is related. And even you know that we know many names of the towns and village called Madampe, Dompe, Mipe, Nupe, Horape, Delpe. You see, what do you mean? Huh? Can anybody tell me what is the meaning? You have to talk. This is not a lecture, no? What is Madampe? Dompe, Mipe, Nupe, Horape, Gaspe. What is that? Anybody can tell me? Huh? No idea? Huh? No idea? No idea? Can anybody tell me? Please speak. Huh? What is Madampe? Dompe, Mipe. Hmm? That means you are not interested in this discussion. I don't get anything other than your inputs and interest. No? So I want to have good feedbacks from you. Anybody knows? So if you, even if you don't know, you have to tell me that. Hmm? It's not banned to talk here. I mean, the organization has muted all of them. Can't they talk? Hmm? Some are texting. I think the basic thing is all of them tell about the trees. Pay means tree or place around the tree. So then Madampe, Dompe, Mipe, Nupe, Horape, all are related to some trees. So then you can understand our culture is very much related to these things. Even when you go to the north, you see Kanakarayam Kulam, Man Kulam, Puliyam Kulam, then Kalmunai, Marudamunai, right? Then Oya, Vela, Tanna, Pitiya, Deniya. So all ethno-linguistic, I mean, ethno-ecological linguistic terms. So we have to understand them. I just want to ask from the organizers, I mean, is it, I mean, totally muted for the participants? They can't talk?
Sorry, it was muted until now. I unmuted now. So if you
Yeah,
have
okay. Because
any
since we have a
answer,
limited crowd, we can let them talk, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So then, okay, now we will move. Now you see, there are two terms in the ethnobiology. One is we call ethnobotany, other one we call ethnozoology. These are not hard terms, very simple. Ethno means culture, botany. Ethnozoology. I mean, look at that plant culture relation, animal culture relation, right? So you can have ethnomycology, ethnopharmacology, ethnohydrology, right? Now we'll come to that. We'll come. Now I would like to ask from somebody, which one is the most worst snake, cobra or viper? Can anybody answer? Cobra or viper? Anybody knows? In the snake world, in Sri Lanka, we have 105 varieties of snakes, or more than that, right? One of the country having larger species of snakes in the world, in Sri Lanka. Can somebody answer me? Which one is the most worst one? Some people say what? Right? Still they can't speak? Hmm?
Now they can, sir.
They can, yeah. So can somebody tell me? They say cannot unmute.
Uh,
I don't know. Is this
can
the
you try
usual
now?
way you can do? yeah, it is usually you are doing, but I
Right.
want to, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no?
Right. Now
Can
it's
somebody
okay.
tell me
Okay.
what
Right.
is the worst, any worst snake, most dangerous snake?
Viper.
Viper. Why
Viper.
viper? Who says this viper? What is your name? Oshini. Hmm?
Yes.
Why viper?
Because I have heard, because I think I watched on Animal Planet. Once they were
Uh,
talking about snakes and they described the viper as the most poisonous snake.
yeah. Okay. So most poisonous snakes in the world is like a black mamba, brown sadder in Australia. But in Sri Lanka, you see that the crate, the we say tel karaola. But unfortunately, according to our culture, according to our belief and traditions, we say viper is the dangerous one. Sometimes cobra is more dangerous than viper. But cobra has been made good by our culture. That is the point. Cobra had been branded by good animal. They think that we can talk to cobra. Even if we make a request, cobra would leave. අපි කියනවා අනේ නයි හාමි අපිට කරදර කරන්න එපා. ඔයා වගේ පාඩුවේ යන්න. කිව්වොත් එයා යනවා කියලා අපි කියනවා. No. පොළඟ එලෝ එලෝ පස්සෙන් ඇවිල්ලා පහර දෙනවා. Those are not true stories. Some snake can come and absorb blood. We say lema bila. Can any snakes absorb blood? Hmm? Anybody has done biology might know. Can any snakes absorb blood? No, not at all. No organs for them to absorb. But there are many stories. පොළඟ හිටගෙන පහර දෙනවා, එලෝ එලෝ පහර දෙනවා. So those are like a myths. So therefore, human-animal relationships are very much related to our culture, our traditional belief, right? Some stories. Now you see that there are some stories now when a baby was taking a bath, a cobra came to drink water. So even when the baby hits the cobra, he didn't attack. But same thing happened to the viper, but he attacks the baby. From there onwards, the cobra and vipers are traditional rivals. These are stories. And you know why people love peacock? Why people hate jackal in Sri Lanka? Can anybody tell me? Why people love peacock, whereas why people hate jackal? Please tell me. Why?
Peacocks are said to be the uh, vehicle of Lord Kataragama,
Hmm.
and the jackals are said to be like very sly, and we should have to avoid so like that.
Yeah, partly correct. Because now peacock is supposed to be a holy animal. So no one likes to even kill or even eat their flesh, even if they are freely available. Very recently, one foreigner killed one peacock and ate, but he was arrested, unfortunately. But really, we want to put down its population because peacock is causing more damage than the jackal. Jackal means naria. We say walballa, wild dog, right? So yeah, walballa means jackal. We say wild dog. That is the local term we use. Some people may misunderstand wild dog. walballa කිව්වහම නිකන් වැරදියට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි මේ කුණුහරුප කියනවා කියලා එහෙම එකක් නෙමෙයි මේ. ඒක වචනේ ඒ භාෂාවේ තියෙන. Right? That is how they say even you can consult Professor Sampath Seneviratna who wrote a book about the wild dogs from Zoology Department Science Faculty. Right? So then you see when the peacock typically live in dry zone. So when the peacock come to the wet zone, Colombo, Kalutara, Ratnapura, Gampa, all are wet zone. Right? Wet zones. When the dry zone animal come to wet zone, you know what happened. Right? You know what happened. Now, it could create a huge damage. Normally, they eat almost everything. They eat almost everything they come across. That is a serious problem. I mean, even chameleons, frogs, and many other animals, whatever they come across, they eat. So this is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. So then you have to understand that. But unfortunately, jackal, we don't call fox them jackal, right? Ceylon jackal. Sri Lankaවේ නරියා. නැත්නම් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වල් බල්ලා කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. So then they are the guardian of the ecosystem. You know, guardian of the ecosystem. Right? Now, for example, today we have the problem of monkey, peacock, and wild squirrel, and even wild boar. These are some of the animals, though they are causing damage to our agriculture. Who control? Nobody is controlling them. So jackal is one of the best animal. Normally we know that when we were small, when we were doing our O-level in late 80s and early 90s, I'm from, of course, Kurunagal area. Every village, every normal townships, in the evening or in the night, you hear the sounds of jackal, the hooting sounds of the jackal, right? Because jackals are typically living not in the forest, not even in the village, in between the forest and the village. That is called thicket area. ලඳු කැලෑවල් තමයි උන් ජීවත් වුනේ ගමේ මායමේ කැලෑවට පෙර තැන්වල. So then, unfortunately, our culture, told that jackal is a cunning animal. Jackal is a very unfortunate animal. දැන් නරියෙක් උඩ බුරපුවාම 100 මැරෙනවා කියනවා 100ට මිටි දෙනවා චොක්ලට් දෙනවා 100 මැරෙයි කියලා අසුබයි කියලා කියනවා. ඒ වගේම නරියා කපටයි කියලා ළමයිට කතන්දර කියලා දෙනවා. So our culture has branded the jackal as a unwanted animal. So then today its population has grown. Sorry? Anybody want to tell anything? If you want to tell anything only, you can speak. Otherwise, don't keep your mic unmuted. That is why the people have unmuted. Okay? Right. Now, we'll go to because you see, these are the 7 type of the snakes we have in Sri Lanka. Can you see them? Can you see them?
Yes, can see.
Yeah. Now you see, I don't know how many of you know that, like 1950s, 60s and 70s, Sri Lankans directly faced the huge crisis of snake bite. Snake bite, because we know that many people passed away because of the snake bite, because we didn't have anti-venom. If you look at those, study the history, especially even the Mahavali development project had a serious problem of snake bite. So therefore, we know that snake bite was a serious problem. Still, in Sri Lanka, around 80,000 people are admitted to hospitals, according to the hospital sources, followed by snake bite. Most of it says that one of the 3 leading causes of hospital admission is snake bite. Right? So then you see there's a conflict relationships. Right? We know that especially there are many issues in that way. Still every year around 200 people die by elephant attack, or 200 to 400 people. But you know how many people die every year by snake bite? Around 750, 80 people die by snake bite. But no one protest with their dead body against snake bite, because snake bite is not that popular, right? Like elephant attack. So we have to understand that human snake relationship is changing. But unfortunately, today, many young people, they don't have any knowledge about or any awareness about snakes and uh, treatments and other things. But some organizations are there, like social media, some other FB and WhatsApp pages. They are trying to give some awareness and education. I think we have to admire them. And since, I remember once I did a eco volunteers project in Colombo University. We got some around 20-25 snakes, and there were around 200 students. Most of them are girls. They hate even getting close to a snake sites. But they are not venomous snakes. They are, not venomous at all. They are not poisonous. But again, they are afraid of the snakes because of our culture, because of their color and body shapes and some other things. So finally, we gave them a good attitudinal change and awareness. Then we really had the very good results. More than 100 students, female students, they touched the students. Some of them even took photographs with snakes finally. So this is the attitudinal change that we can do, because snakes are important to make the ecological balance in our field, right? Now, uh, uh, can you see this one? Can you see this one? What is there? What is there? This is crocodile attack, right? Now, can you see? I'm always double checking because it's online business, no? We don't know. I
Yes,
don't see
yes.
you, you don't.
Yes, can
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yes.
So in Sri Lanka, you see, interesting thing is, look at, we have two type of crocodile. One is called saltwater crocodile. Other one is called freshwater crocodile. The smaller one is freshwater crocodile. That is not that harmful. But freshwater crocodile is very harmful. They are, creating more problems and causing more problem to the people's life, right? So therefore, we have to be very careful. And the interesting fact, look at the biodiversity of the Sri Lanka. Snakes are typically available in dry zone. Crocodiles are typically available in the wet zone, right? Now look at these sites. Because human-crocodile relationship is very much changing, right? Because there is a huge conflict between them. There are two types of crocodile, as I told you, mugger and the saltwater. There are 750 sites in Sri Lanka, right? Where we find around 2,000 crocodiles. But we need to have around 10,000 crocodiles for our country. So then only we can have ecological balance, because we have more deers, more monkeys, more peacocks, more wild boars, but no predators. No predators like, we don't have, we call tiger, but really they are like uh, we say how leopards. We have only 400 leopards maximum, 400 to some people say 600. So those 400 leopards are not enough, no? According to the other wild animals we have. And also crocodiles are not enough for our country, because crocodiles are killed. Crocodile eggs are harvested. Their sites are damaged, right? This is the problem. Look at the typical sites. Matara, Malimbada, Akurassa. That is one of the places we have mostly crocodiles. ඒ කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ ඉන්න භයානකම කිඹුල්ලු ඉන්නේ එහෙ තමයි. මාතර පැත්තේ. Especially in Nilwala area. Especially in Nilwala river, you know that people also say Matara Kimbulige Patia. Even in poems are there. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමනත් ඒ නිල්වලා පැත්තේ ඉන්නව බහරි භයානකයි. The second site is, you see, second site is Beiruwala Bentota Ambalangoda, especially Bentota River, Maduganga. Right? It's one of the nice wetland where we have more crocodiles. Moratuwa Dehiwala Vellavatta. It's in Colombo. But we do have a lot of crocodiles. Bellanvilla, Attidian, Bolgoda Lake. So we have to, these are not this is not only our place, even the place of animals. Then Ragama, Handala, Vattala, Muthurajawala and Hamilton Canal. So this was totally changed because of the development projects like highways and other things. Now they are in trouble. Then Kalmune, Batiklo and Eraur, they are also, you have some crocodiles. So we know that today there are huge conflicts. I mean, more than 30 to 40 people have been killed only in Nilwala River by crocodiles. Even people kill them. So then there is a hostile relationships, antagonism between animals and crocodiles because of the development projects, deforestations, wrong attitude about the animals, right? Okay. Now we are coming to the most important one, human-elephant conflicts. And what happened to human-elephant relationships? You see, in Sri Lanka, I think, as you show in our first slides, it is the elephant that is used to carry the tooth relic of the Lord Buddha, because it is such a holy animal. It is such a holy animal. Everybody respect that animal. Why elephants are important? Anybody knows that elephants are more intellectual than other animals? Anybody knows? Anybody knows that?
Yes,
Can
sir.
anybody tell me why? What's the reason?
I have heard that when somebody do something to elephant, he'll always remember it. And also he's not going to the places where he could not reverse, and because of its huge body.
No, what's the reason? Why elephants are supposed to be more intelligent than other animals?
Don't know exactly.
No, thing is this. No, normally when other animals are born, like dogs, cats, or cows, or goats, their intellectual part is very much programmed. Their cognition, cognition is very much programmed. 90% of their thinking capacity is already programmed. But just like humans, I mean, human mind is almost empty when the human baby is born. So after the birth, only human babies start learning and storing the thinking and thoughts and actions in the mind. So more or less, even elephants are just like, because you know that there are some special reason for elephants to behave like that. One is elephants are not maintaining the incest. Incest, they are not having sexual relationships among their family members. Right? Once they have sexual relationship, the female animal, the male animal leaves the herd and it lives alone. Right? Thereafter, its genetical parts are not connected to other animals. So then genetical pool will be there, or they will maintain the genetical pool among their newborn animals. And also they have the other capacities. They walk around 35 kilometers per day. They are awakened around 18 hours. They need to have a lot of foods. They have a higher level of memory. So we have to understand all these things. Then only we can understand their interaction with people. So these days also I am doing some studies about how human elephant conflict impact on the family or communities of the farming societies in Hambantota, Hambegamu area, Tanamalville area, Handapanagala area. I was there for the last 2 weeks because you see, for example, look at this one. Just look at these statistics. So far, we have killed 7,000 elephants in Sri Lanka. Can you imagine? 7,000 elephants have been killed in Sri Lanka. I mean, after the independence. Right? So then you can understand here. I just have brought some statistics according to the Wildlife Department. From 1991 to 2000, 1,200 elephants were killed. 550 humans were killed. Look at the 2001 to 2010. 1,740 elephants were killed. Can you imagine? Elephant is not an ant. You don't have any elephants in USA. You don't have any elephants in Latin America. You don't have any elephants in Europe. Elephants are very, very specific animals. They are bringing a lot of dollars, a lot of incomes. They protect our pride and our culture. But 2011 to 2020, 2,755 elephants were killed. They have killed 720 humans. So we can't imagine. We can't imagine about this one, right? What a pathetic situation it is, right? Look at the human-elephant death chart. It's keep on increasing. It's keep on increasing. Everybody speaks. Yeah. Anybody want to ask anything? I will have another 10 minutes only. I will finish. Then we can have a small discussion. So then, elephants are killed. Elephants kill people. And there are many issues. There are many political, economic matters. Money is allocated for putting elephant protection fence. Then compensation for the people. There are many corruptions, right? And on the other hand, we know that some cases are very popular, Dalaputtua. Then we have Kalaweveyata, but they become popular and immediately after 1 week or few days time, everything is forgotten. So then you can understand. So this has become very politicized, right? Some people talk about only elephants' rights. Some people talk about the farmers' right. But I know that both elephants and innocent farmers are both suffering. But this is really a matter of politics in our country. Now, what I am telling is, there is a hostile, the kind of a very negative relationship with wild animals. Whereas there are some good relationship with other domesticated animals in Sri Lanka. Right? We hate wild animals. Because even we know that what is the reason? If you look at the idea of elephant, how it was treated in the past during the time of King LR, King Dutugamunu, King LR and King Dutugamunu, and the Kadollata and the other elephants, how they were used for fighting, how they were used for the Perahara, and still elephant is supposed to be the one of the pride animal. But unfortunately, now we hate it, right? We kill them. No one respect them, right? So then, what is happening is very important to understand. Now we also want to know why human wildlife conflicts emerge. Quickly, I will tell you. One is our changing political economy. I mean, our interest towards political economy. I mean, the second reason is some of our agricultural projects. Agricultural projects, right? Agricultural projects, we say like a Mahavali, Walaway. Now, please switch off. I mean, mute your mic. It is Nisamdeen, no? Nisamdeen, please mute your mic. Okay, so then some of the agricultural projects like Mahavali and Walaway and other things. Second one is irrigational projects. Then development projects like highways, and we have plantation economy. We had a plantation economy, like we know, especially after the plantation economy, and other important one is like some of the land reforms, like a crown land ordinance. Then unauthorized or politically sensitive resettlements. If you go to
I will go to
Yala,
hospital.
I think he's continuously doing the same thing, no? I don't know. And if you go to the Yala area, in the right middle of the forest, there are 22 houses. They have the clear deeds and all that. No one understand what the reason. Because the political influence, right? And Mahavali authority, right? So then, very recently, when I talked to some farmers, they say wildlife officers, range officers, they don't do anything properly. They come only after the elephant is killed. When the people are killed, no one come there, right? So then there are many issues. Today, it's very difficult to solve this problem because it has become politicized. On the other hand, we know that we have to understand the changing attitude of the people. So we have to change attitude of the people. And sometimes people have to sacrifice. Animal cannot sacrifice, no. Right? You can't have a discussion with animals, no. You can't have a discussion with wild animals and ask them to leave the place. Right? The only possible way is to have a discussion with people and communities. And we have to talk them and we have to get them away from those areas. So we have only 23% of the forest cover in Sri Lanka. But that again, maybe 5% forest, 3% forest, like a forest patches in Sri Lanka. There is no any way of linking all these forests. Right? So otherwise we have to link or connect all these forests. Otherwise we have to remove some of the wildlife. Otherwise people have to sacrifice. So all these finally become social cultural matters, not environmental or natural. I mean, if you want to find a solution for human wildlife conflicts, we have to have a politically free solutions and cultural adaptations, and as well as good awareness and attitudinal change of the people, including the future generations. Okay, these are the things that I want to tell you within this short period of time. If you have anything, we can discuss, because it's a very broad topic. We can keep on discussing for a long time. But since the time given to me up to 8 o'clock, we have to stop here. If there is anything, we can discuss. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Mohamed Mahees, for such an educational presentation. And I apologize for the noises, but now I have allowed you to unmute yourself if you have questions. So now it's the perfect time to engage with your all the audience. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat or raise your hand to ask questions directly. We will address them as many as possible with the permitted time. The floor is yours.
You don't have anything? I think this area has to be further developed and we have to have more discussions because if we keep on having this kind of things uh, further, there will be a more damage to our system. Now, some of the animals are already gone, like jungle cats, fishing cats, some of the eagles, some of the owls, and some fish varieties. I mean, some of the animals are causing damage, whereas some animals are already gone. So then you see that I'm very much talking about the ecotherapy. I mean, the nature therapy, forest therapy. So most of the foreigners come here to have that ecotherapy, especially the wild animals, because the modern man is always in rat race, having a lot of issues and problems, right? And more than that, the artificial intelligence, IT, ChatGPT, many other technological things will make us more and more competitive, and we will be more isolated. We will be alone. So then the only way for a man to have the satisfactory balanced life will be the nature. So the nature in the sense, these wild animals will be very important. We know that people like Ranbanda Seneviratne, man from Rajarata, from the Anuradhapura Central College, he has written most of his songs based on the dry zone ecology. Especially, you know about the Ulale, and also like Pabalu Nage, those songs. And most of the songs, and even if you take Apnasri Vijay Singh, Bandulanana Karavasam, and many artists, like even Martin Vikramasinghe and Mahagama Sekar, and now like Kulatna Aryavansa, like Suryarna, many films, many art. This will provide us a good therapy when we are busy, when we have problems. Today, people are very busy. They have a lot of issues, lot of problems. They are under stress, depressions. You see the suicide rate going up. Heart disease are going up. 30% of the deaths in Sri Lanka are now heart related. Young people die by heart attack. So then we are getting away from. You remember the Red Indian leader Chief Seattle says, right? You destroy the nature, you kill the animal. One day you yourself will become isolated in the absence of all the animal, right? He asks, if you can't hear the argument of the frogs, if you can't hear the crying of some birds, if you can't enjoy the body heat of the pony and the great eagle, what is the life? People are looking for a life like in Dubai, artificial life, right? You have everything artificial. Like you have waterfalls, flowers and gardens and everything. But Sri Lanka is not like a Dubai. It's totally different from that. I'm genuinely telling you. So we have to protect the wildlife. If not for wildlife, there is no nature. You see, I don't know how many elders, senior people are here. I remember when I was small, we enjoy the fireflies, Kalamadiria, then dragonflies, butterflies, many fish varieties, many mango varieties, many guava varieties, many banana varieties. Today, we don't have any of them. It's a misfortune. So it's the fault of ourselves, right? So therefore, what is life, right? Just because can we do everything, artificially? Now you just think about the difference between the Suryaran and Avatar films, right? There's a huge difference, right? So then we have to promote the nature, ecology, especially we have to educate our future children in terms of the animals, especially wild animals, whether they are small or large animals, even like frogs, like small crabs, fishes, many varieties are there. Okay. If you don't have anything, I can wind up. Anybody want to tell anything? Any comments? Any criticism? Everything is welcome.
So, this is a very valuable topic and lecture. With
Sir, there
regard
is a
to,
question.
Yeah, one by one, they can talk.
yeah, it's a very valuable topic. And is there any national discussion policy for having this new balance of nature, especially with these animals and the human activities? Is there any discussion in forums with relevant to the national level?
I think there are from time to time they are having even national level forums, discussions, and policies, planning. But unfortunately, they are not sustainably maintained. When the government change, even when the policies and other uh, implementation works change. Now look at, for example, in Sri Lanka, uh, the Wildlife Conservation Department, Forest Department, right? Then we have Coastal Conservation Department, right? Then there are some other land reform commissions. So then, and every time they are politically divided,
Yes.
right? So once I remember during the time of Basil Rajapaksa, the forest department come under one ministry, wildlife department come under another ministry. At the same time, coastal department comes under another ministry, and the lands under another ministry, and the parks like Victor, the Yala and Kumana Vilpattu comes under another ministry. So how can you united or have an integrated plan? Mainly because of the politicians. And we have Central Environmental Authority and some other good scientists we have in this country. But we have more than enough rules and regulations. But when it comes to implementation, we have problems. Now, normally, we know that even when some of the feasibility studies, like a Sakkita Adhyana, according to the original feasibility studies, it was proposed not to put up an airport and a playground in Mattala. But they did it because of the political influence. Today, it's very risky to land a flight because of the birds attack, because it is a blind path of the birds. And usually elephants come and disturb the ground because it is their, their homelands, right? So then we have to respect wild animals. The nature is not only for us, right? Nature is not only for us, even part of the animals, right? Some people say every year in Min area, around 1,000 elephants comes there. 1,000 elephants comes there and they have a close interactions. But we don't know whether it is like a elephant conference. So they discuss something, they interact something, but still we don't know their language, what they are talking, what they are behaving, right? According to our knowledge, with our knowledge, we can analyze their behavior, right? Because they are so intelligent. So we have to think very, I mean, now I think I have, just I'm telling, I have been to Australia, USA, UK, like countries. So those countries, you have a very clear demarcation of the 3, 4 things. In one particular area, you can have farms or agricultural area. In other particular area, you have the residents, right? In residence, you can't have even a single shop. In the farming area, you can't have a single house. In another area, you have the residence. So then there is a small township. In the town, you have everything. That the rest of the areas are forest. So clear demarcation: forest, agricultural lands, residential areas, and small township. Those are the 4 major areas. No one can violate these rules. But when it comes to Sri Lanka, if you start from Dambulla to Trincomalee, you see, even in the right middle of the forest, you have shops, you have worshipping place, you have houses, you have towns, you have villages. So how can we protect the human-wildlife relations, right? So it's very pathetic. Everywhere, everything can be done. So then, I don't know, really. I think we can do this, bring these changes only when the people are aware and people are concerned about them. The public is concerned, public is fighting, then we can protect. We can't trust only politicians. I would say that it is the people, like a university student, people like you, media, me, and the journalist, small children. We all have to get together and we have to make a big voice. Then only we can protect these things, I think.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a
That's
question in the chat box from Yasaru asking is familiarizing with the snake is actually a viable solution for snakes and humans conflicts. Does that not triggers other issues like selling them aboard for their gene rarity?
I mean, is familiarizing with the snake is actually a viable solution for snake. Now we don't believe that we have too much of snakes in Sri Lanka. So we have a exactly limited number because we need to have snakes in according to our ecological setups, because then only we can have a balanced ecology. But most of the snakes are not venomous. Only 5 or 6 groups are venomous. You see today, when the snake population goes down, the rat population goes up. When the rat population goes up, what happened? Right? Leptospirosis, leptospirosis, rat fever, Mune, that will go up. So snakes are very important, vital part of the ecosystem. So we need to have them, right, in the system. So I think we don't, according to my understanding, but I am not a zoologist. I know that like a Professor Devaka and Professor Kotagama and Professor Dayavansa, these people will tell that we don't need to remove snakes from our systems. We have to have them. But only important thing is we have to make aware people. We have to educate them how to get rid of. If you go to Australia, in Australia, you have many venomous type of snakes, many venomous, right? Like a brown adder, death adder, right? Many things, very venomous. But very few death cases are reported because they give good awareness and they reach the hospital in time. But unfortunately, still in Sri Lanka, people go to some of the local treatment. They have different beliefs and practices. So then I think we can also use their venoms for our development purpose as proposed here. For example, the venom of the scorpion is very, very economically valuable. And the venom of the venom of the viper is very valuable. 1 milliliter of venom of snake is very valuable. So you can make many drugs and antidotes. So therefore, we have to do research and study. Sri Lanka is a real lab for many people to do research. Okay? Anything else? Okay, if there is nothing, we can wind it up.
Okay. On behalf of the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Mohamed Mahees for sharing your time, knowledge, and invaluable expertise with us. To our wonderful audience, thank you for your active participation and engagement. Your enthusiasm and curiosity make this session more impactful and meaningful. We look forward to see you again at our next Green Talk session, where we continue our journey towards sustainability and environmental stewardship. Until then, stay safe, stay inspired, and let's work together to build a greener and more resilient future. Good night. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
thank you very much. One more word, I think only request I am making, please try to do some work towards our future generation, our children, and you can do any works with them. If there is anything, of course, if there is a genuine, hard-working, real efforts, we are ready to voluntarily support you. But it should be real, genuine volunteer work rather than any other hidden agenda. Then we are ready. I am attached to Department of Sociology, University of Colombo, because we have been brought up to this situation by innocent poor people because of their tax and their contribution. So we are responsible for their life and their future. So assuming like that, you also can do something, and then we can help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.